Easiest way to make Mah-Dry-Bread mad is calling him Mah-Dry-Beard. No, that just makes me laugh. I had an interview with a guy recently who his introductory email to me asking for an interview was calling me Mah-Dry-Beard. And that is hilarious to me. Still to this day, my all-time, oh, that's awesome. You immigrated from Canada to the US. You started in 2015. You got the citizenship this year. Congratulations. You should hit me up about that sometime. I'd love to hear about what your process for it was like, because I'm just starting that process in January, and I'd really love to get some advice. Because it's, you know, it's a pretty new thing for me. Like, I've been planning moving out of the country for a long time, but I never had the money. So this is the first time it's like a really attainable thing. Need to have a hard chin if you're going to do this as a job? Yeah, that is true. People are always going to say awful things, and you get a thick skin about it to some degree. Why work when you can have your dad give you $1,000 a week? I'm confused. I don't know what you mean. Sorry, I don't... Well, first of all, I don't have a dad. Second, my family is quite dirt poor. Yeah. Why would I want to get $1,000 free a week when I can work doing a job that I love and make much better money than that and provide for my family? I feel like that's the moral thing to do. Why you leave in Canada? Here's a really great example of why I'd rather live in America. Because I don't want to get super into it. I know people are just coming for this more than anything. Hold on, can I get a better Chancellor? Yes, I can. Is that our wife? No. I'll give you a really quick example. So where I live in Southern Ontario, it's where I've lived my whole life, is just around Southern Ontario. And if I don't know anyone who owns property outside of literally my landlord, because that's very expensive here. If I wanted to buy a house, like a regular 2-story house, the kind of place you could, you know, grow old, get a family, stuff like that, that is starting price here over $1 million. And we have a sales tax of 13%. And it's looking like on income tax, I'm going to lose about a quarter of my money, probably more actually, on income tax. Now, if I moved to North Carolina in the United States, I could live in a city of the same population or bigger, in a nicer home for $215,000, so less than 1/5 of the price of the same house here, in a safer neighborhood with half the sales tax and significantly less income tax. Now, if I'm going to raise a family and I'm going to have kids, which is an aspiration of mine, I want my kids to grow up in a place where they could reasonably go to high school. After high school, you know, find some work. They can do post-secondary if they want to do post-secondary. But the point being is that they have a reasonable chance to get a decent job, work their way up, and be able to buy property, even if it's small property, before they're 30. I know 40-year-olds here who live with their parents because it's that expensive in Southern Ontario. So yeah, I would much, 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 much rather live in North Carolina than anywhere in Canada. Consider healthcare costs? Yeah, I did. I did. I compared healthcare costs to my tax costs here. I could literally break both of my legs and still make more money a year in America than I would in Canada with healthy legs. Was that those ones? Oh yeah, Insta-Siege. Wow, they really did a roundabout up there. That's annoying. All right. I'm gonna have to send a death stack up there. We need an organizer on that army, don't we? Yes, we do. That was a misclick. Get an organizer on him. All right, we got the new person. We really do need the best chancellors we can get. Anything to decay that threat faster. What's our threat at? 47. Have they dropped out of the defensive pact yet? They're still in the Christian Defensive Pact. How? Okay, well, we can't even check a war declaration yet, but sometimes it takes a little while. Yeah, see, that's another thing there by Queen in the chat there. The person who said that they just moved from Canada to America. They're saying American health insurance isn't too bad either. It costs quite a bit before I got insurance, but now I can go to the ER for $15 American. And people forget that Canadian hospitals are super full, so it takes a long time to get seen. That's true. Every time I've ever been to a hospital, the wait times were horrible. And Fatima actually used to volunteer at a hospital in high school here. You have to do mandatory volunteer work. You have to do like 100 hours of volunteer work. She did those hours at a hospital. The ER wait times were astonishingly long. And it wasn't even in a super high population city. It was like 100,000. Moved to Norway, not the US. Oh God, no. I don't like Norway. Trust me, I've looked into about 1,000 countries. Norway is the opposite of what I want. I would be paying so much more in money moving to Norway. I can't raise a family there. How am I supposed to have the money to take care of my family in Norway? They have worse tax than here. All right, I don't want to get into this forever. Everyone's just going to get angry because as soon as you talk about countries, people start getting political because they need to make everything in the world political. Look, I found a country where I like the style of living that I would be able to have there. So I would gladly move to the place that I have picked. But yes, Queen Krisu? Not sure how to pronounce that. Hit me up on Discord or, eluded Jaffa, that sucks. Hit me up on Discord or something, whatever you can, on Twitter or something after this, because I'd love to talk to you about the immigration process. Move to the Soviet Union, gulags are state provided. Yeah, everybody, I'm thinking North Korea. Sounds like a nice place. Like, North Carolina was nice, but this North Korea place sounds kind of like it, and it's way cooler. You get like a pound of free white rice every single month. Like, hell yeah, I don't get free white rice here. Let's go to North Korea. Raiders. Okay, at least I can actually take care of them here. He did mention Georgia in the past. Georgia's ones I've definitely considered. Georgia's quite nice, but I think I may have settled on North Carolina. I looked at literally every state in the United States, and I've also spent years looking at many, many countries in Europe, trust me. I was even considering Hong Kong for a while because I have family in Hong Kong. And I do quite like Hong Kong, but it's just not going to work. Have you ever heard of Syria? Yes, I know what Syria is. I'm not moving to Syria. You need to move your troops to your capital. Why? You've considered Atlanta? You're considering Atlanta? No, I wouldn't want to live in Atlanta. God, they've moved all of their armies up there. I mean, I'll give them credit. It's smart to do that, but pain in the ass. Georgia the state or the country? As if you need to ask the state. Georgia the country would be such a weird pick if I'm saying out loud, oh, I was considering Georgia, but I think I've settled on North Carolina, which are both American states. Alright, I feel like I'm just getting troll comments now. Antarctica, I'm sold. Why live in Atlanta when you could live in Atlantis? You might have a hard time finding it, but it's good once you get there. The internet, though. What's that in response to? There we go. Take him out. We don't even need a right commander. It's gonna be such a beatdown. Israel's no longer considered de jure part of the Arabian Empire. That's perfectly fine. Just means it's part of ours. If I remember right, Denmark has a tax, was it their highest tax bracket is like 80% of your income, which is why rich people do not live in Denmark. They fucking leave. You've owned that for 100 years? Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, does it? What's the moral authority like? 60. It's dropped a lot. They willing to give in yet? No. Oh. It's not clicked into the window for a second. Alright. Nothing build there. Yeah, France is also bad about that. France's highest tax bracket, I think, is 70. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of European countries with a shockingly, like, disturbing upper tax bracket. Where it's like, why would you ever live there if you were that rich? And lo and behold, no one does. If they hit that tax bracket, they leave. Because if you have the money to get taxed that heavily, you have the money to leave. Who would pick to get taxed at that rate? Lamp Juice says, my tax is 40%. That is fucking abominable. Jesus, what country do you live in? And what the hell tax bracket is that? Oop. That was a misclick. Alright, we need a new physician. Ours died, apparently. "40% laughs in Polish. John Mathis says, my tax rate this year was 7.5%. See, that's reasonable. That's much lower than Canada. I'm guessing other countries are off the table potentially because they use metric measurements and not U.S. customary measurements. It's in Japan's. Why would that matter? I live in a country with metric. I live in Canada. Why would you ever pick to not move in a country because they use a different measurement system? You've got Google. If you have Google, you can just Google the exchange. Some Americans think that way? I'm not American. I'm talking about wanting to move to America. What American would want to leave the country but decide not to because they use metric? I find that hard to believe, I have to say. I feel like the kind of person... Oh, that guy's learning is terrible. I'm not hiring him. I feel like the kind of guy who would say that they want to leave the country, but they're not going to because the rest of the world uses metric, or at least the majority of the world uses metric, didn't actually want to leave the country, because that's insane. Yeah, Americans learn metric in school as well. Not all Americans, but still. Imperial measurement's stupid? Yeah, kinda. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's manageable. It's not the end of the world. We learned imperial and metric here in Canada because the changeover only happened in, like, the late 80s. So. Right, we need to get a new It's at the top, isn't it? Physician. Pick... Oh, he's blind. I don't want to pick him. There, this is our smartest guy who has eyeballs. Celsius makes no sense. I think Fahrenheit makes no sense. Celsius makes sense because Celsius 0 is freezing point. In Kelvin, 0 is the absence of heat. In Fahrenheit, 0 is just an arbitrary cold temperature. There's no measuring stick. You just think that Celsius makes no sense because you're used to Fahrenheit. I use Celsius and Fahrenheit because I grew up with Celsius and my thermostat's an American one for whatever reason. So I have to use Fahrenheit every day as well. And I think both of them are manageable. It's not really that big a deal. But Celsius makes more sense. It has a more logical endpoint. Yeah, 32 Fahrenheit is freezing, which is weird. 0 doesn't have any special meaning in Fahrenheit. I don't know how that came to be. Okay, place converted. Finally. All right, one war. Oh, and the other war just peaced out. All right, walk him out of the lands. Once he's out, we'll put down the levy. There. Oh, finally, that pointless war is over. Dangerous faction? Barely, it's 70. So who dies? Oh, you're in hiding. You're the one I've been trying to murder. Anyone in here easier to murder? Who's particularly strong? He's an easy kill. Knock him out of this. Everyone in the chat's fighting about Celsius and Fahrenheit now. Better than them fighting over, oh no, a guy I know on the internet is immigrating to a country that I have negative opinions on. This is my business, I must get mad at him over it. Zero Fahrenheit is the temperature at which salt will no longer prevent water from freezing. What an odd barometer for Fahrenheit to be based around. Huh, you learn something new every day. I thought it was based off nothing. God damn it, the Byzantines are in a fucking revolt again. They're always in a goddamn revolt. They need to end their revolt already. Because you know what's going to happen. We're going to keel over dead now. We'll have our CB and we can't do it. Okay, do we have enough troops here to just take them out? Of course we don't. We need to get these guys out of Jaffa. They fucked up Jaffa so badly. There. Oh, you'd be really good at stewardship. There. Finally got these fucking raiders out of the land. That was rough. Jaffa got messed up. The trade post there got destroyed. God, didn't that have a really good trade post too? It's gonna take forever before one of these dudes rebuilds there. Stettin prospers? Hell yeah! Drop 16k, get a new holding slot in Stettin. We've been waiting for that for like months. Oh my god. Build a new city that we're gonna personally own in Stettin. Hell yeah. Oh, finally! That's what we've been saving up money for forever. Now we gotta have like 30K or something to be able to get the final slot, but still. Oh, we've been waiting for that forever. What a good way to end the stream. Oh, we just hit an hour and 20. Oh, that's perfect. All right, well, I hope you guys had fun at the stream, everybody. Let's never talk about me immigrating until I've already immigrated again, because everyone is so appalled, apparently, that a Canadian wants to move to America. Because, you know, I think it's just because everyone online knows problems about America, because everyone complains about it, but Canadians never complain about Canadian problems but me, so you don't know the problems with Canada, so you just assume it's a utopia. A lot of people seem to assume Canada's a utopia. It's weird. Anyway, I hope you guys had fun. Again, I stream this every single Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and then upload it on YouTube after, and I stream this on Twitch for any of you just tuning in on YouTube. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.